Hello friends, it's me, Vivian. I thought I would do a chatty tutorial for you today where I talk you through my process in real time and then show you the finished end result because I'm doing some Sunday night anxiety crafting. So I don't want to film my whole process, but I thought I would show you what I'm working on because it's going to be fun. I always love making simple projects because simple does not mean boring. You can actually do a lot of fun things as long as you have a simple base. And I thought I would show you once because I'm usually just making these off camera because I think people are not going to be interested. But this is actually so simple and so fun. I thought I might as well show you. So I have my sewing machine out, but you do not need a sewing machine for this tutorial. You literally only need paper and decorations of your choosing. You, technically speaking, don't even need glue, although I would recommend some sort of adhesive like maybe washi type instead. Like I said, I'm using a sewing machine for mine. At least I did for this one, but you don't have to. So I made a trial version already because my sewing machine and we are not friends. We always fight. We make the crooked lines. I can't seem to get that right, but you know, I'm practicing. So I made this version already out of a book page, but I'm actually gonna make one with this paper instead because I thought it would be fun. So it's very simple. This is, as you can see, do I have something that I can show you? This is, as you can see, 3 large pockets. I promise you, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 pockets, and then it folds inwards like so. I promise you, once this is finished, you will love it. I'm gonna love it because I love this paper, so it's gonna be fun regardless. Anywho, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. It's super simple. I have this piece of paper. I've not measured it because it's a paper scrap, but I can measure it if you want to know. It is about 8.5, nearly 8.5 inches, and then this is probably still 12 inches, yeah, because this is just the whole paper. So about 8.5 inches by 12. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold this up. Now I could fold it in half, so you would have 3 pockets open at the top, but if you look at this one, I actually opened it a little bit. Like the front of the pocket is a little bit lower than the back of the pocket. I thought that was nice. I completely forgot to tell you who I got this idea from. I actually saved this on Instagram. Let me see if I can find it still. Yeah, the original idea is from House of Warriors _ They used some beautiful... Oh, actually, I'm realizing we're going to use kind of the same paper, but hers... Can I show you my computer? Maybe I can. Do I have anything weird open? No, I do not. I don't know if you can see that, but they're actually using actual vintage ledger paper, which I can never find. And I'm actually going to be using something that looks like ledger paper, but that is actually new. So that's kind of a funny coincidence. I didn't realize, but that is where I got the idea from. I'm talking way too much. Anyhow, we're gonna fold this up. I'm gonna eyeball it because that's the way I like to craft on a Sunday night when I'm anxious. Does this look right? Yeah, I think so. I already folded it, so there's no going back now. I'm just gonna fold it. I think what I will do is use my distressor tool. Where is it? You could use scissors as well. This is basically just the same. There's like a little blade in here. Hello. There's like a little blade in here, so if you use scissors it works as well, but I just really like this tool. And then what I'm gonna do when I finish filming is run this along so that you get like a torn paper look. I really like that, but I will be doing that later because it's annoying to watch. Then all we have to do is fold this in 3s. Now I am gonna measure this because I am terrible at trying to guess the right size. So every pocket is going to be about 4-ish inches, but I'm going to make one a little bit smaller. How am I going to do this? I don't know. Fold it about there. Ish. One a little bit smaller and one a little bit bigger because otherwise it's impossible to fit inside. I really tried to make the clean edges, but I still have a little bit of an overlap there, so I will be cutting that off. Fold this one in as well. Oh, did I measure that wrong? No, I didn't. So that's okay. I will be cutting off the edges because somehow it's never as clean as I would like. So that's literally all of the tutorial. I could tell you what I'm gonna do. Oops, okay, so if you want to use washi tape, I would suggest just putting washi tape on this side so that you close this off and put it on this side. So that you have this, and then this would still be open, but because of the fold lines, you're gonna have 3 individual pockets as well. If you want to do glue, I would also, again, only put glue on these 2 sides. You could, of course, put glue in the middle, but I think you don't really need that because if it's like this, then you will still have that pocket. And I don't really mind if it's open on the sides. It's gonna be kind of 3 individual pockets anyway. You could do it differently if you want to mess it up, or not mess it up, mix it up. You could put glue here or there so that your pocket would open from the side, if you like. If you have really thick paper, you might also consider cutting this a tiny sliver of paper in the fold line out so that it's a little bit thinner, because this is a little bit thick to fold, but I don't mind. And I will show you when I'm a little bit further on in the process, because I don't feel like filming a process video. I'm just going to show you my in-between steps. So what I'm going to do, I haven't even told you that, is first, of course, distress the edges, and then I'm going to attempt to sew the sides. I'm not going to do the same that I did here, which is sew 6 lines. That's too much work, because with this one I have individual pockets, as you can see, because I sewed it here as well. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep that open. I will be back when it's time. That didn't go according to plan at all. The stitch lines are very crooked. I mean, I guess it shows that it's handmade, right? Because I can't sew straight if it saved me. The next step, step 3 if you will, is optional again, but I chose kind of a simple background base paper because I wanted to do this step. I have my paper scraps. I already picked some that I was going to use. I have these paper scraps and I'm going to create squares. Very exciting. This is not a paper scrap. This is probably the prettiest paper I have ever seen. Had to use that. Even though it's double-sided, I am going to use this. Of course I'm going to use the envelope side. But I'm going to create little squares to fit in here. Now, my original idea is to make the squares slightly smaller than the base paper so that you can still see the background and it's kind of like an added layer. But if I make them slightly smaller, I might accidentally cover up the stitch line, and although it is crooked, I do kind of like the way that looks. So I'm just gonna mess around with these papers, see how big I'm gonna cut them, and then I will be back to you. Okay, I'm making a mess, but I picked 3 pieces of paper that I really like, and I have decided, although it pains me a little, to cover up the crooked stitch line because I think it just looks better like this. So what I'm gonna do next off camera is just glue these down. See? Kind of like how this looks. If you want, you could create another pocket on top of the pocket. I'm just going to glue these down as decoration, but you could also glue down the sides of this, so the 3 sides, and then let me grab a little example. You could even like create another pocket on top of the pocket. That might be fun to do. I'm actually contemplating doing that here in the middle, but I'm afraid it's gonna be too bulky. So if you want to do that, you should use very thin paper. But it could be fun. You could create a pocket on the top or on the side if you wanted more space. Tuck in a little tag or something. Actually, I think I might just do that. Get one of these papers and maybe use it for a question tag or something like that. So I'm gonna do that. And I will see you with the finished results. Okay, Vivian from the future here. I'm just gonna do a voiceover because I messed up. I filmed the video, like the end result video, sideways for Instagram, but I forgot to film them in my normal way for YouTube. So I'm sorry about the black border. This was filmed sideways. I am going quite fast here, but don't worry, there's multiple clips because I thought I could film one for Instagram and then one for Pinterest and I don't know. And of course I forgot YouTube, but we're just gonna ignore that. This is the finished end result. I actually managed to craft this, I think, in 1 or 2 sittings, which is quite fast for me. I love how this ended up. I will tell you about the different things I did. This is the envelope I ended up sending it out in. I sent it out to Mandy. You can see here that the A is crooked, but they're quite flimsy little alphabet stickers, so I ended up just adding some glue to them and sticking them back on. What I did for the front is I actually used paper scraps to create that little decoration, I don't know. And then in the base paper I actually inked the edges of the paper, like I did the torn paper look, and then I added some pink ink to it, which I absolutely love. I ended up making that middle pocket here like I mentioned before, and I just took out a little notch so that you could see that it was an added pocket. I put a little tag in, which I think is adorable, and then I just decorated them in my usual way. I have quite a few of the matching decorations. I hope you can't hear my neighbor kids. They make so much noise. I'm gonna have to check that. I have a bunch of the decorations, so I have the stickers and I have the die cuts and I have I don't know what else I have, but I actually used all of the decorations are just from that pack, and I think that it's so cute. I decided to keep the decoration themselves quite simple, just a sticker or a couple of stickers or a couple of die cuts, you know, like a couple decorations, but because the papers are so fun, I didn't want to cover that up too much. I'm talking here because it's for Instagram, but we're just gonna ignore that. I also added in, this is the front that I made from the paper scraps, you know, like those papers that are on the top of the 12 by 12 papers. I love that. I also added in a ton of goodies, including my letter. That was my letter. I had a pack of green die cuts. I have a washi tape sample. I have some girl stickers. I actually added in some of the tags and cut parts from the pack itself. I thought that was a cute addition. Those were some stickers from Pick Your Mix. I don't know, I think I added in more in the envelope, but that's basically it. Big thank you to my patrons and to all of you for watching. Let me know if you like this type of video and I might do them more often or I might not. Okay, talk soon, bye bye.